ready, cause this shit's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Debbie! Yeah, this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Little hellions, kids feeling rebellious.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Oh,
So have you ever done a podcast before, or is this your first
No.
podcast?
this is my first time. Please be gentle.
Okay, are you super nervous? It feels weird, like the boxes should be reversed.
I know. That's why I specifically sat this way so that I could look this way so I could look. I was looking at you.
Oh wait, do I have to? Yeah. So I
You
gotta
got to
kinda-
turn the chair. Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm learning. This is like
See?
podcast etiquette. Does it make it
Mhm.
look more like we're just kind of chilling? Are you drinking a beer?
No, it's tea.
Oh, I was
No.
like, geez, shit, get it.
Not that big of an alcoholic yet. We're going to get there, though, probably if shit keeps going the way it's going.
It's a weird, yeah. Everything's weird right now. So I
Maybe
just like,
Which way this is?
what's going on with you? Besides podcasts, like what's going on?
You know, I thought about
How you living?
I thought I gotta move this. This is gonna bug the shit. Okay, because you can't see the beautiful landscape. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
So I thought about how like this. Actually, I thought about this morning. So I was in the shower, which is where I have all my best thoughts, right? So I'm in the
course.
shower, and I thought about like my podcast with you today, and it kind of got me like nostalgia. Like I went back to like our very first duet together, and then I went through like the whole thing. And I'm like, Jesus, criminally, we've come some, I don't know about a long way, and I don't know if it's the right way, but we've come a ways.
It's a way. I mean, we went from here to there.
We did. We're here now. We were there.
I was digging today, and I think it's somewhere on a little clippy drive thing, but I do have the very first time that you ever commented on my page, and I like fangirled out for him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love you so much. And it's so funny. Or the videos that you made for Tex and Pony, where you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
and Dave or whatever it was.
I think this is one of the most, I mean, being banned off TikTok, it sucks. It sucks anyway, because it's just, or it used to suck. It doesn't so much suck now, because like whatever. But you lose all of that. And then if you get hard banned, you have to reset your whole life, which is on here. And then you lose all your videos. And so a lot of those videos that we did, and like a lot of videos that I loved, because I mean, at the end of the day, I do TikToks because I love to do TikToks the way that I do TikToks. And when they're gone, it's like, dang, like, man, I love that video. I wish I could go back and rewatch it, because I'm vain. I like to watch myself.
And it's like losing photographs, though. You know, when you build a little, you know, all your scrapbooks, because none of us are together physically. So it just kind of sucks, because those were like, that was our whole like friendship played out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And even when we got weird and like awkward with each other and we didn't know why. And I treated you like you were like a new woman, because then you wanted to like hang out with Tex. And I'm like, she doesn't even like me anymore. And I was like an angry, jealous, scorned wife. And like,
it's so weird. People,
but then we were able to like, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. We reconnected, I think, because we both started different journeys at a different time. Like I started this journey, and bringing Tex on. Tex was one of the first people that, and I've said this before, we said this in the podcast that we all did together, was this is Tex's Monday. Like, but Tex is the first person that committed to doing a show consistently with me every week. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really find anybody that would do that. And he was one of the first, and people then loved him. Then now like a whole different group of people love him for different, you know, we're just not going to get into that, but this is why, you know, and with the Texan, it just works. And people like to come on, and people like that Texan is different. It really didn't have anything to do with anything. It just happened that way. And I never thought of it as, but it's weird that we talked a lot about this specifically this week, that people, this is why I stay away from the friends thing and the grouping, because people, they can change on you. And I know this is a lesson that, and as much as I loved you, this is a lesson that you're learning and had to learn kind of the hard way too, in going through when you start being friends with people, but then you start to get to know who they really are. And it's like, maybe this isn't what I want to align with anymore. Well, by then you're in deep and you're fucked. I mean, and this is why I keep kind of that boundary with a lot of people. Like, we don't use the F word. We don't drop the L word. We don't use the L word. Stop it.
That sounds like some you shit though, because
that's a me thing. Like, don't be like, I love you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't love me. You can love my face. Okay, you can love what I do.
Okay,
but don't. It's like
a loophole, right? It's a loophole for you. We just love your face.
We love your face. That's why I say it. I think the love word gets thrown like racism. Like racism's completely lost its luster. Like it doesn't even mean anything anymore.
No.
I don't want love to get there. That's sad.
Yeah,
but that's it.
I need to learn that lesson. Sometimes I'd like to touch it, like the fish in Nemo, like when the boat comes and it's like, I'm gonna touch it.
I have some bears that I like to poke, but I don't know. For the most part, I feel like and this is what I say when I say we've come a long way. Because that was our thing. Like, we'd do the clapbacks and it was all about the masks then, which is something we can all get around, I think, still at this point.
Yes.
Is the masks. And we would do the clapbacks. And then I think as we both grew and you realized how important your voice was and how in trouble your state was, and you got really involved, and I went kind of a different way because I had a lot of trauma and a lot of shit that I had to deal with. And so we both kind of went different ways. And now I feel like we've healed and have started to become the people that we're supposed to be. And then of course it comes back and we'll line back up together as the better versions of ourselves. And I've told people this. I don't know if I've ever told you this. So I went through like a past life regression and you were in one. Like you were there with me at my roaring 20s party at my wedding.
What did I do, Shep?
You slept with my soon to be husband, you tramp.
Well, past me apologizes.
That's okay. Past me forgave you. Past me was like, you could have him. That dude was trash. He was hot, which is the reason I was with him in the first place. Really had nothing to do with love, which is probably where my love trigger comes from.
It's probably me that caused your love damage.
It probably was. It's probably a good thing we're on this show right now in this timeline, just talking it out. Just don't throw her off a balcony. That was another part of it. Like somebody pushed me off that balcony. We're still in like the unsolved mysteries of this, but for the most part, I've healed the trauma from that old life, and now we just laugh.
You don't know who did it, who pushed you. It could have been me.
It probably was you bitch. Jeez.
That would be fucked.
Fly, ship. See you in the next life.
Like, see you later. I'm here. I'm just gonna take over this, but I think that you were more ready to like deal with your shit than I was. So like I put all of mine into my state where I was like, I can do this. This will help. And I went so balls to the wall with it, but it was having friendships damaged, repetitively where I'm like, am I attracting the wrong, or is it me? Or like, what is this? And I was ready, like when you reached out like right at that moment where you were like, hey, let's do this different this time around. And I think that I was finally ready to be more open to it.
Mm-hmm. I think that was because Tex had actually reached out to me and I was always kind of here. Like I know that I distanced myself from you and you had gone through, and it had to do with kind of the people that you were, because I just didn't align with those people. I really did like you, but I didn't align with those people. And so I was like, and out of respect for you, obviously, and yours, that wasn't my thing. So I did watch and it sucked to watch because I can distinctly remember a conversation that you and I having when I was sitting in my garage. And I was telling you, one of these people, because you were talking about how much, fun you had with this. And I don't know, my face must have just kind of made a face. And
it did.
Because it was one of these people, I was like, I'm just not here for it. One of them was like, whatever, like that's going to fall apart. But like one of these people, and I told you that I wasn't rude about it. Because again, this was your friend and you were my friend. See? Yep. Friend. And I didn't want to disrespect that relationship because you don't do that. Like, I don't care who you're friends with. If I like you, I like you. And I told you just to be careful, and you did great. You did the best, and I don't think we never parted on bad terms. I never felt like it was bad terms.
No, it was just like a break.
Break.
Pause. There just wasn't a lot of engagement, but like a little bit here and there, like a hey, like love your
and
face.
Videos, like yeah. But I watched, and I still kind of watch, and I watched it kind of fall apart, and it was hard because it was like. And everybody's like, they all were picking the sides. Like, I'm not going to pick a side. I had already decided long before any of that happened, like, nah, this isn't going to work. But it was hard to watch you go through that. As somebody who, like, and when I was growing up, I mean, I was a Billy Bad. I fought, and it was all this. But I could sit here and tell you that I had these groups of people that would gang up, and they would start rumors and stuff like that, and then they would convince other people, and then they would befriend people that I was friends with, and be in situations where everybody actually hated you, but you didn't know it. And then when you realize what was happening, I've been in those, to watch it happen, it was a tough thing to do. But I knew you had Tex at the time, and he Tex, I can't. My God, like, I thought I had no filter in life.
Husband, like, it was when we went to Florida, he's like, yeah, no, Texas is really cool. And I'm like, see, I told you. And then it was after we went to Texas and we came back, and he's like, I get it. Mm-hmm. Like, totally get it. And now those two are like texting every day, and Texas coming back to Michigan in a couple weeks. Like, I'm super happy that he decided to date a girl from Michigan, because that means that he comes to Michigan now frequently. Right. So I get to like sneak in and be like, annoying best friend, hi.
Now, Michigan, you need a good reason to come back to Michigan, from what I understand. Still,
I mean, I'm trying to get out of here as quick as possible, and we'll know. Like, I'll have a better idea of the move and everything, like in a couple weeks. So gotta hang out with the doctor people for a little bit. And so Amber says Texas chaos, and I'm hearing a lot of that, as all of the things again, I don't get involved. I have my personal opinions on some of these people, but I don't know them, so I'm not really going to say a whole lot, except for maybe one who I just really don't care for no other reason that I don't care for her. But and then everybody talks about the drama. I don't like the drama. And in my opinion, I mean, as that video is racking up thousands and thousands of views with people saying, well, I don't like but you're here watching, so it's if you don't like it, that's okay, but you don't scroll. But you do kind of like the drama. I mean, you do, because you watch it, and some people know that, and so they create drama for views and clicks and likes, and you do kind of. But there was another side to it too, with I really just hate all this drama. But a lot of people use TikTok and the music on TikTok to express how they feel about a certain situation, and to say stuff like that can be extremely dismissive, and it's almost like dismissing their feelings about the situation and the way that they feel. And I saw this really cool video of someone, and you might have duetted it. It might have been you, where she talked about how dismissive that was, and how it's on my main account. It was like a 3-minute video.
Yes.
Oh my! Like,
I loved that video.
All of this.
Yeah.
All the things because like, I don't like it when people assume that I'm making my content for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I like that y'all are hanging out with me. I love it. Like, let's all hang out. But I'm not making this for you. Mm-hmm. And then it's also it's a slap in the face, because it's telling that person, like, oh, it's fine that they said that to you, but it's not fine that people are saying that. And if I say something, I'm doing it for me, but I'm also showing you that you need to say something when somebody does that. You can't let people treat you like that. It's inexcusable.
Yep. And then that another one that, and I don't know if you got this, the one that I would get a lot is stop messing with the trollship. You're such a bully. This is what you do. You blow up people's comments, and then you make fun of them. And I'm like, but nobody talks about the fact that person came in here, left the shitty comment to begin with. And I did get away from a lot of that. Like, there isn't a lot of commenters anymore that trigger me. Like, I don't care. Like, say whatever you got to say, deflect whatever you got to deflect. You're going on in your shitty life.
Troll the people that follow you. That's such a slap in the face to people who do watch us and enjoy our content, because you're telling them that you think that your followers are stupid enough. And they just listen to you. Like, I've heard people say, like, well, I don't send my followers after people. Why are you sending they're not ours. They're not like our own personal little army. They're people that enjoy our content, and people are going to do what they want to do. I could talk until I was blue in the face saying, don't leave a crappy comment. Don't say this. People are going to do it.
It doesn't matter. That's right. And so there has to be some accountability on the commenters part of it too. Like, I know I don't comment on a lot of videos, and I know if I'm going to comment on one, that comment can be taken and it can be misconstrued or it can be blown out of proportion, and I have to be ready for that. And if I'm not ready for that, then I'm not going to comment. And I get a lot of that, like a lot of it, and not so much, like I said, anymore since we stopped paying any attention to them, because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of it was. People just wanted that attention. They wanted that video. But it would bother me when people be like, stop messing with the trolls. Stop talking to them. They're not worth it. Like, da, 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 da. It's worth it to me in that moment and in that time to stand up for myself, because there's a fine line between bullying and standing up for yourself. And I feel like if more people stood up for themselves against a lot of this bullshit, then maybe we wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. Maybe it wouldn't have been so easy for people to be gaslit into putting masks on their face, even though they knew it was wrong. Maybe people wouldn't be so inclined to get an vaccine because that their whole family is bullying them into doing it, right? If they saw a TikTok of somebody standing up here and saying, listen, fuck off. Like, I don't care what you got to say. Like, stop saying mean things on the internet to strangers. That's not nice. Then maybe that would give that little fire in them to stand up to their family or their friends and say, listen, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
on that for me, I don't know about you, but I mean, it's not like I was this quiet little meek thing before TikTok by any means.
I know.
But I did have difficulty with confrontational situations, and I would allow people to say things or, act a certain type of way where I'm like, wow, that was kind of messed up, but whatever, cool. To where I don't do that as much anymore, and it annoys people now. A lot of people that I've been friends with or been acquaintances with or family members even, they're kind of like, well, geez, you didn't have to say it that way. No, yeah, I did. Because you've been doing this to me for a very, very long time, and I'm just not okay with it anymore. So this is how it's going to be now going. And I'm not as afraid of being disliked now that I've been disliked on such a massive level.
That's just it. What a huge growth shift for and I think this happened for everybody. This was huge for me, and it had to be huge for you too, because we got a lot of the same shit. We've been doxxed, okay? We've been threatened. I've had somebody send dog shit to my house. I've had my kids at school thrown out, my phone number, my email address. I've had Mr. Shipwreck's work called a dozen times trying to get him fired. There is literally nothing else that you can do at this point besides show up at my front door and do something and jump, frog. I mean, I've had my social security number has been found and thrown out there. Like, you want to steal my identity? Take the $12 in my bank account. Enjoy yourself. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, enjoy that. You want to be me? Fucking A. Johnson. Where do I sign up? Take it. There is nothing more dangerous on this planet than a person who has literally had just about everything that can be done online to them done. Because now, like, I'll come out here on a podcast and I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll make any kind of TikTok I want. You're going to take my TikTok account down? That's already been done. There's nothing and if there's something that is so freeing, liberating about being hated it initially started with a lot of people on the left, the pro-maskers, and it started with that and being called every name in the book. And now we're kind of in this weird place where, like I have an opinion about the nurse and the nurse she's going to jail, and it's not a popular opinion, but I'm not going to dumb it down, and I'm not going to agree just so you stop coming after me. Like, this is where I stand with it, and I'll stand alone if I have to, because we've been there already. I know I can do it. It's liberating as hell, Kat. Yeah.
Crazy. It's the craziest thing ever to me, because I think I was really surprised at how much I did care. I didn't think I cared. Like, I was always one of the people like, I don't care. I don't care what you care. And then it was like, hold my beer, bitch. You care more than what you think. And I did care, and I cared a lot, and I cared way too much. And now it's kind of like I post and go. I don't ever have that thought like, uh-oh, like, what's this person going to think? Or is it going to get taken down in my accounts on warning? And, this. I'm just like, bye, I'll make a new one tomorrow. See ya. Like, just here to piss you off. And then I come back and I go back in.
Right. And you gotta understand, like, I don't think we're not intentionally pissing people off either. This is about being our true selves. Like, this is what we really believe. This is how we really feel. This is our truth. Right. And I understand wholeheartedly and compassionately that not everybody's going to align with that. And that's okay because you're not supposed to, because you have your own truth that you're going to stand in. What I struggle with is how you need to come in and be like, well, I don't like you because this, and this. Well, that's fine. I don't like you and I don't even know you. Get off my page.
Someone this morning that was like, oh,
Yeah.
how many times do I have to block you? And you always make another account. Like, you are an angry little freaking nugget, man. Like, show me that where I hurt you. Like, just my face popping up on your For You page, Linda, sends you so through the roof. Are you kidding me right now?
I know it. I'm so triggered.
New account. I'm like, oh God, block. And then I go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I do. When I start a backup, I go through, I get my block list going nice and tight, and then I carry on.
I don't even do that. I feel like, you know what? You're gonna see me grow. Every account, you're gonna see me. Here I am. Ooh, you thought you blocked me. It's over now. You're triggered. I'm not triggered. That's your problem. That's not my problem. You can comment. That's fine. But you need to realize at the end of the day, if you're going to comment something like that, that is your problem, not my problem. And I'm not going to make it my problem. So go deal with your shit, because it's projection. It's all projection. Just like us responding to comments, me feeling like we had to go on and take on every single battle, every single negative comment. I can remember waking up in the morning and with my content and being like, okay, where's the negative comments? Which one can I respond to? Which one did I save a sound for? And looking back on that now, it's like, what a waste. What a waste of energy when I could have been doing other things. What a waste of energy when I could have been spending it on my people, on the people that were here commenting the nice things, commenting the good things, you know. What a waste. But what, like that was all trauma on me though. I was in this constant defense mode, constant fight mode, constant, and it was a defense mechanism because that was me not letting people get too close and me not letting. And it took a lot to bring all of that down. And we're here now. I mean, I'm still not gonna let people in, but like, maybe, like we're maybe
closer.
We're getting closer.
Like me and my husband were talking about it the other night, and he's like, "You're just so different, but not different. It's weird. Like you're you, and you're who I thought you were. Like, and it's just there now. Like what I see, you see, and it's really cool that you see what I see now. But I still have because of all that I had to do to get here." I've developed trust issues. So it's like taking a medication for one thing and you wind up getting something else. So now I'm in this trust issue bubble. You know what I mean? Where someone's like, hey, and I'm like, a stranger danger. Bye. Don't get close.
Why are you in my DMs?
Right.
Out.
In my head, everyone's just going to swoop in and be really nice to me and trauma bond with me. And then they're going to use everything from that against me. Because I seem to attract that. I don't know. And this is pre-TikTok. Mm-hmm. It's always someone that wants to use the worst parts of you against you. But apparently I need that to be done to me. I try to look at it that way. If it keeps happening, it's because you need it to be done. Why is it happening? Why does it bother you so bad? And dig into it. But man, it's a lot of work.
It is. And it's a lot of hurt. I struggle with the same kind of trust issues. I have a really, really hard time opening up to people about things, whatever it is, right? Because it's been my experience that the people I have opened up to will get pissed off at me later on down the road for whatever reason, and then use that against me. And it's happened online, it's happened in real life. It's been a consistent thing. Where it's kind of stopped is that I've stopped looking for outside validation from people for the way that I feel about things. So when I get upset about something, this is why I've always said, and I've said this I'm not the friend, I'm not the person you need to come vent to. Do not come vent to me about stuff that's going on. Come to me if you want solutions. Come to me if you want help. Okay, so let's take the emotion out of it and let's figure it out. Because venting is, in my opinion, is just a waste of time. I know it makes you feel better in the short run, but there's still something else there that you're not getting. But I had to learn that lesson too. I was a big venter. I would run to people for validation on the ways that I felt and things that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I would get the validation I was looking for, but more times than not, I would get poo-pooed because people that I was venting to, people that I respected, they saw something in me that I didn't see. And it was almost like a jealousy, maybe not a jealous, maybe like a fear, like a competition kind of thing. But it was all about validation because I didn't think that I was worthy enough to be able to have this fantastic idea and then to execute on it without 5 or 6 people telling me it was a great idea and that I could do it.
Yep.
So I had to really work on the validation and the confidence portion of that. And once I did, and this is how the show started too. This was something that had been this after I kept getting banned on TikTok, and then we got banned on Clapper and Twitter, lots of places. But I got to a banned point. Like I got to this point with being banned that I'm like, I need to have something else. Like I need to have somewhere else I can go where I can talk to my people, the people I want to talk to, and do it with. And I had pitched the idea to a handful of people. I'd had a group at the time, and I'd pitched the idea to this group, and I'd pitched the idea to a couple other people. I'm like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And everybody came back with, well, I just don't think that you're organized to do that. And I think it would be amazing, but you got to understand it's going to be so much work. You are the producer. You are the executor. You are the one booking. You are the one doing this. And at the time I didn't have my beautiful Sonia. Okay. So it was just me. And they're like, I just don't know if you're able to do that. And so on and so forth. And just the constant, and I think and I'm not saying it was a negative experience, because at the time I really do think that they had concerns that I was getting in over my head with something that I wasn't going to be able to handle. But with all of that feedback, I shrunk back down. I kept making the stupid slapback TikToks, but eventually it kept coming up. Like I kept getting this feeling like I wanted to do something more. And so then I'd reach out to a few people to try and find somebody that maybe I could do it with, like my own Freedom Fam, to have like a group to do it with, or another person to do it with. But I couldn't find anybody that wanted to do it as consistently and as often as I wanted to do it. But this is kind of where Tex came in at, because he's like, I'd come on and it would be, but he could only do it. And so I'm like, okay, when I made this decision, I'm like, and then I'm on this on my own. Like, I really want to do this. I'm just going to have to do this. And it was so hard because you're out here.
Yeah. I don't know how you just your own, like I broke off from a group and was intimidated. I don't know how you did that. You just jumped in like,
the group left me after a little while. And maybe that comes down to the intuition part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it was supposed to happen like that, because that same group, they left. And then I don't think there's any hard feelings. I'm not super bitter about it. They had to do what they had to do. We didn't align anymore, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped. I'm like, I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to feel it. And we're just going to hope for the best. And I had a solid, and at the time, that group of people, they were, they came to the lives, they commented, so I can't, there's no hard feelings with that, because they supported me when I started, and I'll always be thankful for them for that. And as it grew, and then I brought in Sonia, and I kind of started to find my people, that constant need for validation, again, it kept getting smaller and smaller. And now I'm in a place where I realize that I can make my own decisions and execute my own plans without really involving anybody else. And I'll probably be wildly successful with it, because that's the spark that I didn't see that other people saw in me. So here we are. And that's why when we talked about with the show with Cat's Corner, I know we had talked a little bit about it. You had been tasked. I thought that was great. And I knew then that you had also you found that little spark that says, you know what, I don't need people to like me to come out and do what I want to do. Boy, that's awesome. Look at you now. Look at us. We're like, I'm going this way. We're like cool. We're cool. You guys, we're like famous legends in our own minds. We're not on TikTok. We're not just TikTokers. We're still pissing a lot of people off, but now it's for reasons that actually matter and not resulting in our own trauma.
Facts. Though, but I think some of it still does. Like, I see myself picking fights that I know is a me thing, but I'm like, I guess you need to work on this. So sorry about the casualty. Let's get her done.
Maybe I need a nap. Like I said, I still dabble back, and I've made slapback videos. I've made clapback videos, and sometimes I've made them and then I've sat.
What's up now? We talked about you for half the show, and you missed it.
Who did? When?
Here.
Hi, Tex. I was in his live, the yesterday live, and they were talking about he was going to put a ring on it. And I was like, wait, what? What's happening? There's some other chick in there. And I don't know. I know who Cath Lab is, and I know who Texan is, but I'm like, who's this other chick? I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on in here? Is this a 3 thing?
No, and then the goat showed up.
No, I wasn't there. I was not there for the goat. I left. I was getting in the shower.
Goat when I came through. So it was Tex as an orange. There was a goat in a box, and then 2 girls. That's what I walked into.
You know what a menage a trois of events that had to be for them. Like how amazingly open-minded do you have to be to have that kind of conversation in a setting to which could be perceived as the actualization of a goat? What? That's where I went. I got many death threats on today's live, and I got doxxed.
All in a good days. So it's Friday. Just another
Frida,
Friday.
listen, I feel like you're acting like a victim in the comments, and maybe you need to like go and reflect on your life. Like, what a victim mentality. Like, dang. Like, maybe I'll make my account private now.
Make my account private.
Don't care. Look, I got one. That's the one. There's one person that I don't know any of these. There's one that I never have. Nothing to do with anybody. Just never liked her.
Are you upset? Are you good?
Ooh, I am. I'm such a girl.
Okay?
I'm a little bitter about it. Like, I watched some videos and I'm like, dang. Like,
We're all bitter, okay? Raise
this
your
is
hand.
all still happening.
Victimized, right? Like we're all a little better.
I saw that video too. I've
little-
never been, at least publicly, but I suppose that's because I'm mean looking. And I don't do passive aggressive shit. Like
Yeah.
I have enough respect not to say names while I'm on your show. But like I'm if I ever needed to, I suppose I would. But I guess I haven't seen anything to where I needed to yet. But no, like I can't believe that shit is just, this is how you know, right? Like you get to it, and this is how I knew with you. Like I
always feel crazy because I'm like, y'all don't see this? Y'all really aren't picking up the, like at all over the last couple of years, and like seeing how friend circles changed, and like nobody's picking this up. Okay, now whatever.
I see it. And then I watched and I'm like, yeah, God. And it sucks because I know that you open your heart up, and especially people that convince you to do it. When you open it, they're like, we're friends. We're all friends here. You can open up. And then to have that, it's almost like they take it as ammo. These people drive, and I can see these people a mile of fucking way now. Like as I've gotten older and I've been able to recognize it for what it is, I can see these people from a mile away. But they
for you because I suck at seeing
Yeah.
them. I collect them.
just check it. I'll get one of them hats and I'll get the ball. We got crystal balls.
Yep, you got to get the crystal ball.
We got the crystal ball. We got some sage. All right, we got it.
How
Like
many
I'll just do it. That's what I do. But people that, and maybe because I used to have a friend like this growing up, and maybe this is where a lot of that trauma comes from, and a lot of my bitterness around people who are like this. And I think there are a lot of people like this, probably more so than not, than people realize. But these are people that are, and they're usually very outgoing and very open and very warm. Okay, they're warm people, and so you resonate, especially if you are not whole in yourself and not secure in yourself. Purple Princess, I freaking love your face. Purple Princess, say my name.
Say my name.
Say my name. But you watch, and these people will befriend usually, and it's usually the people that are struggling with whatever they've got going on. It's usually the second in commands, the third in commands, or whatever. I don't want to say the weaker links, but for lack of a better word, that's all I got.
Right.
And they befriend them, and then they open up to them, and so the other person opens up to them a whole bunch, and it becomes, they befriend them. And then the second that the other person pisses off the initial person, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that communication is pretty much just cut off. And then the bad guy or the bad friend goes out and uses all of those insecurities against them. And it talks to all kinds of people about them. And not just directly, they don't have a conversation with the person. It's all these little side quips and it's just a joke, or they use their insecurities to poke at people. And
yes,
boy, we just don't fucking do that here. Like I said, I'm not, there's no passive aggressiveness here. I'm not going to, no, it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not funny. I don't like it. And this comes to the boundaries. It goes back to what you were talking about too. When you start setting those boundaries, people don't like that. They get all like, well, why did you have to say it that way? Well, because it was a shitty thing to say.
right.
You shouldn't say those kind of things. I hate people like that. Dang.
It's freaking humans.
It's tea. Again, I'm just going to put this in here for anybody new. No, I'm not drinking. It's tea. It's peach tea. It's very good. But all my glasses are dirty. So.
Straight 151 in my coffee.
As it should be.
Totally kidding.
We got the trailer TikTok trash coming out next week.
You see, and you're like, oh,
What?
got another one attached to her. You just got to poke it and be like, cat.
No,
Nope.
I'm going to be like, hey girl, I know it's been like 2 weeks since we've talked, but listen, I've seen you kind of slunking around with like Can
It's
just
gonna be
listen,
tomorrow.
can we have a can we talk about this for a minute? Like just real quick. Like I'm trying not to be a dick about it, but there are some things too where I think that had to happen for you to start your own. And I think you did. And I did. I watched because I like you. Like I like you. I still liked you. I liked you then. But I was like, you know what, this isn't something. And then I had a group of people around me too that were very, I don't know, they like to talk about people, and that's never really been my thing. But I would get sucked in, and then I would back off because I'm like, I don't really like to talk about other people like this. I'd rather talk about cats
Like
or
stuff.
stuff, yeah, important stuff, or cats. I don't
Okay.
know. It's all very interesting. It's all like it's like a second wave of high school. Like it's like you're going through puberty again when you start this.
Like people will say, like, "Oh, this isn't high school. What is this, high school? Oh my God, what are we still in high school?"
Exactly.
Because high school prepared you for this. Because it never ends. You're always going to be around people that you don't like. You're always going to have to fix your own shit. Your triggers is your shit. Own it, react to it, but fix it. You know, like if you have to react to it for as long as you need to. But at some point, you got to address that shit. High school doesn't end. That is what it prepared you for, because this is life. Like, it's dramatic and it's crazy. And just because it's drama to one person doesn't mean it's drama to another person. I mean, half the people that you watch on reality TV, like, they probably don't think that it's entertaining and drama when their life is edited, you know, like.
I think and we talk a lot about this with mainstream media and Hollywood and everybody. So everybody's circling the drain, right? That 5 years, like CNN's out the door. Their new launch isn't going to work. Like they were trying to do an online streaming service. It's going under. They're laying their people off. Hollywood, if you don't know this by now, especially after the Grammys, what happened at the Grammys, they're desperate for ratings. Nobody watched. Nobody even knew that the Oscars were on. Until the slap heard around the world, okay? And then nobody knew that Pfizer made a medication for Appaloosa.
Yeah, what?
Help me!
Discovered this. Like, help me
say the word. Appaloosa. Alopecia. So, Pfizer sponsored the Oscars, okay? They sponsored them, okay? Great. Will Smith comes in, smacks Chris Rock for making a quip about Will Smith's wife who has alopecia. Alopecia. And she's all like, oh, and they're all like, oh, and then we're all not watching because we were all in my live that night. And then we caught it on TikTok the next day and we were all like, oh, and then we saw that. So, and then Pfizer's like, well, it's okay because we have a medication that was just approved recently by the FDA for Appalachia. So now every article that I see about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock because his wife has alopecia now has an advertisement at the bottom from Pfizer about their Appalachia medication. There's that part of it. It's all a marketing ploy for Pfizer, which, if you want to tie this back around, I'm just going to wrap it back around. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, so the Ovid-K vaccine that they are pushing out, which was also created by Pfizer, also has a side effect in one of the 9 pages of side effects that Pfizer's vaccine has, which is the reactivation of your alopecia if you have it. Alopecia if it's dormant. So if you have alopecia and it's dormant, like MS, yes, and you take the vaccine, it can reactivate your dormant alopecia, causing it to go into, like, I suppose, like a relapse, like MS or lupus or anything like that, and causing all your hair to fall out.
See.
Hit the like button so that YouTube knows we're the shit. And maybe it doesn't ban us. I don't know. They might. Sorry, Tex, if it does, you can have my week's worth of earnings.
No, we keep getting slammed with copyright music.
Yeah. You can fix that. You know that, right?
Huh?
You can fix that. Does he know that?
No, I'm the one that does that. So I need to figure out, like, I was going to ask you when we were done anyways, like, how do I do the linking other people's YouTubes?
You can't. So it'll constantly get slapped. It'll constantly get slapped, and you won't get paid for that live. But if you get slapped, the copyright.
Good job. The very last
cats and money.
You nailed it. She can be taught.
If sometimes, I'm pretty stubborn though. Like I'm not going to even try it now because now we get wrong and throw the whole thing to the wayside. But now you know. So now you know what happened at the Oscars. There's another whole like dark rabbit hole part to it. That's about Hollywood humiliation rituals, which is not probably YouTube effective. So we're not going to go into that. But yeah. So if you have a content, or if you've got a like if you get the copyright thing, if you go into YouTube Studio, you can actually just cut that portion out. That way you get paid for all your views still, and so on and so forth. I just learned this because I got it all the time too. So just so you know.
Yeah, we've been getting ever since I started playing with the new editing stuff, and I wanted to make our intros a little bit different. We're just getting slammed with them every episode.
The one thing that you needed, so I go into Reels on Instagram and I find like remixes. So people that remix or redid songs, because a lot of people they do covers of these songs, like, and then you can use those, and then you will not get and you don't have the watermark, and you don't have any of that crap. You can take it all out. It's fantastic.
Good tip.
I've been doing this. I spend way too much time on it. Like, I'm obsessed. I love it though.
I like doing them now. I do. I like doing them, and I want to find like all the new songs and all the new everything. Spend like 3 hours on one to play it for 10 seconds before show.
Right. I spent days sitting here like putting together like the different things and putting the other interests. This is why I don't make TikToks like yelling at the stupid trolls anymore. Look, I'm busy. I've got things to do. Busy. Like, die mad, all of you. I don't care what you said or what you don't say. I don't care if you put my address out there. I'm fucking busy. But I think that's
really good to happen though. Like, what's really, I mean, I've had some real life stuff happen, but nothing that completely ruined, you know what I mean, my life. Like, was it a minor inconvenience for a little while? Absolutely. Like, did it? So I just don't understand even like the threat of it. Like, oh, or like when they say your first name, that's always my favorite. Like, they'll come in and be like, okay, Kathleen.
Yeah. That's you.
Yeah, my nickname is Kat. I'm the Kathy, which is a shortening of Kathleen. But go off.
Good job, sleuth. Come on. That's what I think the worst thing
right now, because you said my first name.
The worst thing that I've ever had, besides like they put my kids to school out there, that was pretty bad.
But
I mean, it is. But we were moving, so it didn't matter really at the time. So okay, show up there, but we're not there anymore. But the worst thing I think psychologically that we've ever had done, and somebody had put in the comments earlier. So one of these people had made a TikTok account with my dad's real name and and made the profile picture his obituary picture, and then they came and trolled me with it. And I was like, so at that point, so you have to make a decision. That's fucked up. That's messed up. But you have to make a decision. And this was kind of a moment of growth for me too. I could throw this comment up in the account and I could send everybody after them and scream and cry about how fucking wrong this is.
Right.
Or I can say nothing and I can just block it. And that's what I did. And within an hour, that account was gone. And I'm sure they made another one. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a big, because I'm like, all right, now I kind of know what we're trying to do here. Like, that was low. Even for you, whoever did it, that's kind of low.
That's twisted.
It's twisted.
I had a comment like that on mine, that someone was like, your dad would be rolling over in his grave watching this. And I was like, ugh. Like, whoa, too far, bro. Like that one. And then it was like, I reacted. I reacted. Right. And it was like, oh, are you so mad now? Facts over feeling. You brought up my dead parent. Like, I would be soulless if that didn't affect me. What's wrong? What's going on with you, buddy? Like, but then that comment went like crazy, and a bunch of people started video responding to it, and then it was like all over the place. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want that to happen, because now I'm reading it up all the time, and now he's getting the attention, whoever it was that did it, that they wanted. And I think it's 10 times funnier just not to talk about people, because the way that they react when you're not talking about them is just nothing short of spectacular to watch. Like, you're just watching, and I used to do it.
Watch it all fall apart, and you're just like, dang.
Every insecurity just all over social media when people aren't even addressing you anymore. So I've learned how to kind of do that as well. Like, some of it's just not worth it. If I don't see the overall good helping somebody other than me now, then I ain't doing it.
I I don't even go watch videos. I had this, and this started with Runner. Oddly enough, Runner made a couple videos of me, and Runner and I we're fine. I mean, I don't know that we're gonna go after each other unless Trump runs for office again. Then I suppose we'll start up again. Maybe we might get back to that. We'll
All
see
of
how.
our liberal friends, like as soon as like election, we're gonna be like, all right, guys, keep it chill. We'll see you in a couple months. All right.
Peace out. But it started, and I think that's kind of got her too, because I'm like, I'm not gonna go. So I made a video, and I put my note. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna go watch that. I'll see you later. And then I stopped, and then I shut the video down. And boy, and she did. She got it. But at the same time, like I noticed that she does it down too. She's like, I'm not gonna, like, she's grown too in her own way. Like, I'm not gonna go watch that. I don't give a shit what you got to say. But when you start doing that, like if you don't go watch.
She made video series where she was like, I'm starting to realize that like a lot of the things that I thought, and just kind of bear with me while she showed it. I thought it was
We've talked a lot. We've talked about this as things progress on and things start to come out too. And Runner is probably a really good example of somebody who actually probably, put herself in a position to where there were some of the things that she supported probably were not the best. But now that they're changing, she's able to come out and say, look, this probably wasn't the best thing, but she still believes her democratic views and stuff. But she's going to do it like this. And I know that she tried to run for office and some people made her feel real shit. And that's never okay either. That is never okay.
Hey.
Like what? Yeah.
Like if you hate her that much, throw someone in the ring with her, throw someone up against her and let them get out politically with votes. Like don't take somebody's, because not even half, come on, 90% of us don't have the balls to do that. We do not.
I know.
So
I would, but I wouldn't win. I'm too Trumpy.
They'd kick me out like in a matter of a week. They'd be like, she tweeted what? She's done.
I know. They're like, did you see her TikTok? Like she's a grandma killer. And then I had to make up like crazy names for people that were running against me, and I would use them, like Crazy Nancy. Okay. I would, and that's why I don't need to be president. Okay, this is why I don't need to be. I have no desire to put my professional cap back on when it comes to that and be nice to people that don't deserve my niceness. Sorry.
Dang.
I
can't do it.
Runner has grown. Well, and Runner has grown, but dang, we've all grown. Like we've all grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growth.
It's crazy though, because like I feel like sometimes you don't like to take credit for stuff or like be braggy, or you just kind of do your thing and you do it because you love to do it. But you have to see that like it's a lot of familiar faces, girl, like of these people, and they do like you've helped a lot of people with that. And because you made it like there's this weird spiritual side of TikTok that's just like
we're all misfits.
Yeah, mind. But then, or it's too serious, where I'm like, I ain't doing that. And then you got like the fake spiritual people where I'm like, you guys are bigger assholes than me. What are you doing over there? Yeah. And then you've got like this rebel spiritual, like just mess of humans that you've gathered. And they're also different and they're also eclectic. And like you have a way of being able to make people see that in themselves without like it feeling weird, without making it weird. Because sometimes
I lead by well, and this goes back, but we lead by example. That's always been my biggest thing. I never say I, it's always we, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for we, and that's how we stand. But it goes back to, again, that validation, right? This was the biggest and the hardest lesson that I had to learn, and I have to keep learning too and keep in check, because that goes back to validation. That's like, hold on.
Get a drink.
Like a piece of snot went down wrong or something.
Freaking cough, dude.
Oh my gosh. Are we good? I don't know if we're good or not. Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Well, no, it's even worse because like I have partials. So there's like a bridge in the mouth. And sometimes like when I drink, some stays up there and then I'll be mid-talk and it'll just shoot down my throat. I'm like mid-sentence. Feel like I'm dying. And then go through a whole fit.
That's where I'm at.
Body freak.
Maybe we're not supposed to talk about this. I don't know. I usually take sign when this happens, when I'm in the middle of a rant, I usually take it as a sign that I just shut the hell up.
Maybe we
But-
do.
Oh, we got tears and everything. Okay.
See, I
Okay.
Barbara Walters her. I made her
You
cry. I'm gonna edit that later. Like, got all in her feels.
I'm embarrassed about how many times I've actually cried in a life. Pam Sears, are you in here? Because dang, Pam made me well up and cry one night.
You
Jen
should.
did it too.
I always get scared that that's going to happen to me because I hate when people cut it up because I've always been someone that doesn't like. I don't like to like. I
don't either, but
like
the
a
reality is,
friend like they're
even
there.
if they cut it up, your people know. That's all I care about. Like my people already know. You can cut up my videos. You can take things out of context. You can do whatever you want to do. But the people that matter to me and the people that follow me and the people that support me, they know. They know I'm not going to do that. They know I'm not going to say that. They know I'm not going to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd see it and they'd be like, whatever, this is dumb. That's not shit. But it goes back to, we good? We're good. It goes back to needing that validation. This is with a lot of spiritual people. They struggle to talk about the things that they can do and the gifts that they have. And we've talked about all of it. I mean, we've had ghosts in here and I have meditations that are just off the chart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real.
Yeah.
Like I can't sit here and tell you that, oh, well, it's all sparkly. Mine are very different, but it's real. Like when I told you Pam came out alive, my dad came through. She knew stuff that she said stuff that nobody knew. And it's real. But it's really hard for people to come out and say that.
Is Pam. Like when you go to Pam and I'm like, not yet.
No. Pam is like when I can get a hold of her. She's busy. She does all the stuff out there in Arizona. But it's all about still needing that validation. And if people are this is why, again, I'm super thankful that we've had a lot of the negative experiences that we've had online, or I've had a lot of the negative experiences that I've had online, because it allowed me to lose what I needed to lose so that I could be who I'm supposed to be without fear, because it doesn't matter. They all hate me anyway. So, or they don't like me, or they're all talking shit about me anyway. So I might as well come out here and just be who I'm supposed to be and be happy. Yeah. And that's kind of where we are now. Like I don't care if you're mad. I don't care if you're mad because I brought this creator on. I don't care if you're mad because I agreed to come on this show. I don't care if you're mad because I put on a skit show where we all just had a lot of fun and drank beer and pretended to be other people for an hour. I don't care, because I've stood here alone and I started this alone and I went at this alone and we're here now and it's successful, but it's successful because I did it. And if you weren't here then, like the comment, like the people that leave the comments, like you weren't here when this started, you weren't here when, so I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it because I started it by myself. And if I need to end by myself, that's okay too, because I'm still going to have fun while we get there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's cool to look back to see, like, that's why I always get excited when me and you get to like chill or hang out and chat, because I'm just like, it's been so like, have we really been doing this for this long? Like,
going on 3 years now. Does that sound just asinine to you?
Like me a couple of years ago would be embarrassed to be like, I'm gonna go stream on my podcast. I'd be like, okay, buddy. Like, I was kind of a jerk about that kind of stuff.
I was with my own kid, my oldest at the time. That's what he wanted to do. He's like, I want to be a YouTuber. He does the gaming, right? That's what they do. They stream the games and then they record them. Then people watch. They hang. And I even told him then when I first started this, like, I'm like, listen, you're going to need a real job first. And you can do this as a side gig and da-da-da-da-da. And he never hesitates to not bring that up to me either. He's like, oh, you're on your podcast. You're making your money, huh? Maybe you should grow up and get a... I'm like, get out of my office, you shithead. But...
I do that stuff to or when they're watching YouTube, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so annoying. Just turn it off. My son will be like, people say that about your show too, I bet.
All the time. All the time.
They probably do. Probably do.
God. And they should. We're a terrible show. Like, you should not go watch us on the Shipwreck show, which is listed in the channels that we love down below here of the Freedom Fam page.
Is it in there?
The Shipwreck show. I don't know if it's in there.
Like, I can't find how to do this stuff. Someone needs to teach me because Tex is not doing it. We got to.
I will learn you. Because if you said it, you guys, I'm type B personality with everything except this. But the YouTube stuff, like with the podcast of the show, very type A. Like, I like everything.
Yeah, that's what I want ours to look like.
Yep, we can make that
A
happen.
new logo because I couldn't stand that like the logo on ours was kind of blurry.
Hmm.
So we got that last night, and I'm really excited.
I saw that.
It's so cute.
It is.
But I want to be able to like do the linking, and then we're also going to be having some shirts that are coming out that I want to be able to link. Because if you did not know, and actually this is a good way to segue into this, that you guys followed the rights, then you know Rose, which is
Yes.
his wife. And Rose was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Hmm.
Rose does not have insurance right now, and she needs a surgery, and they need all the help that they can possibly get. So there's this link right here. It's also on my TikTok in the bio. But we wanted to do some T-shirts for her. So like, I want the channel. It's not organized. It's not.
Oh,
like
yeah, I'll help you. You can't do. You can't get a merch shelf until you're at 10,000 subscribers. That's the one thing. I want to do the same thing. I want a merch shelf, but I can't do it until I have 10,000. So go like, share, and subscribe, Shipwreck Show.
Yeah.
But I'll add her GoFundMe too to our lives too for a little while so that people can donate there too, and we'll plug it a few times. He's been on the show before. It's super sweet guy. I don't really know her, but he seems to adore her, and I'm assuming they are together or something. So we'll plug that as well. And that is a sad deal.
It's very, it was a shocker. It was obviously, but she's going in on Wednesday. So there'll be some more updates when she meets with the surgeon. But I think from what I've heard, the doctor said that he was very optimistic. She's healthy. She's young, so she's got really good, she'll kick its ass, but it just got to go through that battle, and hopefully we can kind of help her out while she's there. So I forgot that I wanted to ask you inside the actor studio questions, but we're at the end, so we're not even going to be able to fit in. But we'll get a couple of them in. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word? Word or phrase?
Either or.
Fucking A. Johnson.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
I'm a boring person. I'm very like.
You are not a boring person. What sound or noise do you hate?
Nails on a chalkboard. Or anything like that. Like on the plates too, people do.
Yeah, there's that. What's your favorite curse word?
The F word.
The F word.
The F word.
So if you didn't do YouTube, you didn't do the online thing, what would you do? If you could do anything else, what would you do?
I'd probably go back into training. I liked training, like design, because in marketing, I like designing trainings and marketing, or I might do my own at some point. Like I would start my own marketing and training and how to build a podcast, I suppose, because we're kind of there. Something like that. Yeah. I like teaching people how to do the things that's going to make them wildly successful. And I would probably do something very similar to that.
Oh, like a life coach. What profession would you never ever do? Couldn't pay you enough money.
I think being like a police officer or an advocate for the kids, like the traffic kids or kids that are in bad situations. I don't know if I could do that. I never ever could do that. Well, I couldn't keep my emotions about me. Like I'd deck people. I'd just walk in and start shooting, grab a kid and leave. Like there'd be no, I can't do the political side of it, or,
He's admitted that like, that's where your line, like I can't
that's
do
the line.
The kids.
Nope. We did it for enough time and we're to a point where I believe it enough, and it needs to be out there and it needs to be talked about, but that's not, I support the people that do that. I don't necessarily do it myself.
If heaven is real, what do you want the first thing to be said to you when you get to the pearly gates?
Welcome home. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I know. God.
Well, thanks for coming on my show.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
An hour. I figured
we're at an hour.
Well,
okay. Hours are good for me.
Ship emotionalness. But it's cool. It was cool to have you on mine. Yeah. It was weird. Like, it was weird to see it in my little thing. And I'm like, I'm usually on hers. This is weird.
What? Yeah, we
To
do
our
have a show.
I have,
We have a show next week.
some notes. Just so you know, I've been taking notes on the girls. Oh yeah,
You're
on
such a
all of them.
snack.
We got goats. We had a lawn on fire. Her actual lawn caught on fire. The goats
Again?
still running around. The goats still just running around. And I have evidence this time. I have photo evidence to bring up at the next
Oh
meeting.
my God.
Been doing some digging. I'm trying to stay away from the drama for a little bit, so I'm just creating.
Well, let's just create our own drama around this. This will be fun. I think, yeah, we're all together. We've got the TikTok Trailer Park monthly association meeting next Saturday, so be sure to be there for that, you guys. It sounds like we've got some stuff to talk about.
We've got
I'm
a
very
lot.
disappointed. I'm disappointed that this month went the way that it went, but
It's not the
not
worst
surprised.
yet. So it's gonna get heated.
It's gonna get you, and that's next Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
Next
So bring your
Saturday.
bush. It is. Bring your bush light. Bring your natty lights. You guys, bring your kiddie pool full of Jello, and let's just go. Do it.
Trailer Park Homeowners Association. I might have to run up to Goodwill.
I might have to run back down to the.
I'm gonna need a different outfit. I can't come out in the same robe. I mean,
I know, no. This is like the Oscars. You already wore it once. We should all just ship each other's clothes to each other, and then we'll all just wear the same outfits, different rotations. We'll all buy stuff from the Goodwill. Yeah.
I'm gonna end up having a costume closet by the end of this nonsense.
Yeah. It's gonna be fantastic, though.
My love, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys, and thank you guys in the comments. I love your faces. We'll see you later.
And don't forget to tune in next Friday where we have Rebel Fox
Ooh.
drama. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Bye.
Hi, we're still here.
We're still. Oh, I'm still live too.
Hi, on